Hey everyone, welcome to the open question. What happens after we die? It's one of humanity's oldest questions. The promise of an afterlife, a paradise, a heavenly reward, a grand reunion with loved ones, has been the cornerstone of many religions throughout history. But what if this promise isn't about comfort or truth? What if it's a tool? A tool of manipulation designed to shape behavior, control minds, and maintain power? Think about it. The idea of an afterlife is the ultimate carrot and stick approach. Eternal paradise if you obey, eternal torment if you don't. It's simple, compelling, and deeply effective. But as we peel back the layers, the cracks in this concept start to show. Start with a basic observation. No two religions agree on what the afterlife looks like. Christians talk about heaven and hell. Hindus and Buddhists believe in reincarnation. Some sects of Islam describe detailed pleasures awaiting the faithful in paradise. Ancient Egyptians believed in a journey through the underworld, weighed down by your deeds. And yet, every religion claims their version is the truth. If one religion's vision of the afterlife is true, what does that say about the billions of others who have lived and died believing something entirely different? Are they all just wrong? And if they are, why should any one of them be trusted over the others? The thing about belief in the afterlife is that it's powerful precisely because it's unverifiable. No one has ever returned from the grave with proofs. Sure, there are anecdotal stories, near-death experiences, bright lights, feelings of peace, but these can often be explained by neuroscience. For example, studies have shown that oxygen deprivation in the brain can create vivid hallucinations. The tunnel of light so many people report? That's likely just your visual cortex shutting down. Neurologists have spent over a century mapping the brain, and what they've discovered is fascinating. When parts of the brain are damaged, specific abilities are lost. Damage one area, and a person might lose their memory. Damage another, and they might lose the ability to recognize faces. If the mind is so closely tied to the physical structure of the brain, how could it exist independently after the brain ceases to function? It's like asking if software can run without hardware. And yet, the afterlife is sold as the ultimate answer to life's greatest pain, loss. A grieving mother is told she'll see her child again. A terminally ill person is promised relief and eternal peace. In the moment, these promises bring comfort. But are they truly comforting? Or are they just distractions? A way to avoid confronting the harsh reality of death. Now, let's look at how this belief influences behavior. Religious leaders often use the afterlife as a motivator. If you follow God's commands, you'll be rewarded. If you stray, you'll face eternal consequences. This isn't just about morality, it's about control. Think of the concept of hell, a place of eternal torment, described in vivid detail in many holy texts. What better way to ensure compliance than by instilling fear? In the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church sold indulgences, literal get-out-of-hell-free cards. Pay enough money, and your sins would be forgiven. Today, televangelists preach that donating to their ministry will earn you favor in heaven. It's the same idea, repackaged for a modern audience. But let's not stop there. Belief in the afterlife also shapes how societies function. Consider this. If people are convinced that true justice will come in the next life, they're less likely to demand it in this one. This is why oppressive systems often rely on religion to maintain order. Slave owners in the American South quoted the Bible to keep enslaved people submissive, promising them a heavenly reward for enduring earthly suffering. And even today, we see political leaders using religious rhetoric to pacify the masses, to tell them that poverty, inequality, and injustice are just part of God's plan. And here's the irony. The promise of an afterlife often cheapens the value of this life. If eternal paradise awaits, why bother addressing climate change? Why worry about injustice? Why strive for progress? Some religious sects even celebrate apocalyptic prophecies, seeing them as the fulfillment of divine will. Think about the stakes. Every second spent hoping for a better afterlife is a second not spent making this life better, for yourself, for others, for the world. And yet, billions of people are content to wait, to endure suffering, to accept injustice because they believe it's all part of a grand cosmic plan. At the end of the day, The concept of the afterlife raises more questions than it answers. If it's real, why is there no evidence? If it's not, why do we cling to it so fiercely? And most importantly, who benefits from our belief? Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.